Right, this is what we're going to be making today. This beautiful carrot cake with cream cheese icing and walnuts. Let's get baking. First, 3 eggs and 150 grams of butter, and what we're going to do is just mix that together. I've melted the butter to make it a bit easier. I'll come back once I've got the butter melted. So that's the butter in there. It's not totally melted, but it's enough. So now we're going to add half a cup of raw sugar and half a cup of brown sugar. So there's our brown sugar. Brown sugar tends to hold its shape somehow, doesn't it? And then we've got our raw sugar, which is not so proud. It likes to just tumble in there, doesn't it? Alright, let's give that a stir and we'll come back. Right, so that's all beaten up now. We can add in our ginger, cinnamon and mixed spice. So I've got half a teaspoon of mixed spice, a teaspoon of cinnamon and a teaspoon of ground ginger. So we can just throw that in. Into that we're going to add a teaspoon of baking powder and a teaspoon of baking soda. And now we're going to combine all that and then we'll come back. Right, now we're going to add our 2 cups of flour. So I've actually got a half cup measure here. Much easier to handle when doing this. There we go. Once I've mixed that through, I'll come back and fold in the fruit. Right, so the first thing we'll do is add our grated carrot, 2 cups. Right, and then add in 3/4 of a cup of pineapple. Now I've added also in 1/4 of a cup of milk, because that is quite a stiff mixture I've got there. Probably because I was a little bit light on the butter, probably by 20 grams or so, but it can make all the difference when you get to this part. But that seems to be pretty good now. In fact, we might even put some more carrots on there. These grated carrots are quite long strands, so they don't actually sit in the cup very well. Let me combine that and then we'll put it into a greased tin, a greased lined tin. Okay, now we're going to pop this into our tin. Might have to get my spatula in there to get the rest. I bet kids all over the world had a whole day of crying when spatulas were invented because they didn't get to lick the bowl anymore. Must have been awful. Must have been almost tragic. Right, I'm going to smooth that out and then we're going to put it in the oven. There you go, that's as smooth as I'm going to get it. I'm going to pop this in the oven at 180 degrees. For this oven anyway, for about 35 minutes, and then I'll do the test. And there you have it, straight out the oven. We're going to let that cool now for about, probably about an hour, and then we'll get that icing together. Okay, and there's the carrot cake out of the tin. Now we're going to make the icing for the top. Right. So into the bowl I've already put 1.5 cups of icing sugar, and I'm just going to put in 3 tablespoons of soft butter, and then 2/3 of a cup, or sorry, 3/4 of a cup of cream cheese. And if there's a little bit too much cream cheese, then I don't think anyone's gonna be worried. I think it'll just be our little secret. Right, I'll get a spoon and I'm going to start making a mess and combine all of this. Not under your watchful eye. Back in a minute. Right, that's all combined, and we're now going to put it onto our cake. Sorry about the noise. Now, what we'll do is we'll put a majority of it on the top, and then we'll use the rest to do the sides. Oh, here's a trick for doing the sides, by the way. If you don't feel like trying to get them precise, just put a little ridge along the top and it will slide down. If it's runny enough, and mine is certainly runny enough. But I want to get my walnuts on. That sounds rude, doesn't it? Get my walnuts on before that. So I'll turn that off and I'll come back once I've walnutted. Right, I guess we better have a little bit of a try. So we'll just go in here and get a plate. Oh, that's beautiful. Well, I hope you make this at home. I'm going to finish that off with a nice cup of tea, and I'll catch you on the next recipe.